Good afternoon, ladies. It's Cindy with Cindy's Quick and Easy Cards. I hope you all guys had a great weekend. I can't believe it's already Monday, but boy, it sure was beautiful here in North Carolina.
Sunday, Monday.
It was such beautiful weather. It was great, and my husband was in a golf tournament, and he won his what they call a flight. So in his group, they got first place. Woohoo! So he was in a good mood all weekend, and then it was his birthday. So we had a really great weekend. So today we are going to do Quiet Meadow. Absolutely love this stamp set. And this stamp set is actually a bundle, and I have it here on the page. It's page 110, and it comes with some great dies. But in my Quick and Easy cards, I don't use the dies. I'm just going to do stamping because I want to show what you can do just with the stamp set. But on this one, I would definitely get the bundle because there are so many great dies that come with this. And I don't know if you can see that, but look at all those great dies that you get. And it's got a few samples here of what those dies would be. But it is an absolute beautiful stamp set. So I'm going to show you some tips here of what I'm going to do. And I'm going to actually do something a little different today. So as you can see, I've got my wonderful brush out here. We're going to do some brushing and get some little bit of design going here. So let's move this out of the way so I have a place to work so I can get my ink, get my fingers all in the ink because you know that's what I do. And I'm going to use my two favorite colors. I couldn't resist today, but in my defense, I did design some other cards that are not in these colors. So you'll need to go to my blog at cindyscardsandmore.com to see my other cards that I've designed. That will be there so you can see my other colors that I did as well as my other designs. So on this card today, I'm using Highland Heather as my card base and Gorgeous Grape as my layer. And I'm doing our basic white. And I came up with a little bit of a mask. So let me show you what I did to create my mask. So what I did is I used our stitched dies, and we actually have those carried over in our catalog, and they're on page 165, and there are stitched rectangles. So even though I didn't really want the stitching to show as I'm doing my blending with my ink, I'm going to show you how I kind of got around that so I could still use the rectangle, and hopefully that stitching won't show through. So all I did was take a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white cardstock, and I put this size of our rectangle down, and I cut it. So I just tried to kind of eyeball it to make sure it was all even on each side. And so this is what it would look like if it was all put together, right? So now I've got this, and I've got my die, and it's cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the negative side of it. So this is going to be where the raised edge of the stitching is, and I don't think that stitching will show through as I go through and do my blending with my brush. So all I do is this is just Post-it note tape. You can use any other tape, but if you use like painter's tape, make sure that you put it on your clothes to get a lot of fuzz on it so it doesn't really stick real hard. But this just makes sure that it doesn't move around as I'm trying to do my blending with my ink. So I'm going to do the lighter color with my, I'm going to use Highland Heather with my brush. And as we've talked about before, we like to keep our brushes so they're in that family color. So all the purples are together, all the reds are together, all the browns are together. So that way it doesn't matter what shading you're going to use. It's just going to have like a little bit of inking on there where it's just stained it. But that way we're kind of using, and end up making sure that it is clean. You can always rub it on your, you know me, I always have my little white sheet of paper there. You can rub it on there just to make sure that there's no residual ink on there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've kind of decided how I wanted my design, and I'm going to use these stamps here. I'm going to use the flower. I'm going to use this stamp, which is all these wonderful little words here. It looks like typesetting. And then I'm going to use the I'm going to use the dots that are in the stamp set also. I've got these little dots here that you can use for an accent. And then I'm going to use this sentiment that heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. So this would be a great sympathy card that if you need something, you can always change the sentiment, and then I'm going to show you how I do that. You can always change that to something else. So in here, and what we normally do on this, and this is one of Elaine's techniques, is you don't have to tap this. You can just rock it back and forth, and it'll get just enough ink on there because we don't want this saturated. We don't want a lot of ink as I'm doing this because I don't want this to be really dark. So I'm just going to give you an idea of what I'm going to do. See, I just want that light color there. So just rock it and then hold this down. And then what I normally do, because of my hands, I normally hold my brush on the top here instead of holding it just by the handle. Kind of gives me more control over where my brush is going. So and it doesn't matter here. Remember, this is just a mask. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to start doing my little circles. And I'm going to go around the edge. And this is all by eyeball, just by what you want your look to be. So I'm going to do this again. And I'm just going to keep doing some all around the edges first. This is kind of how I did my design. And you can just keep going back as you can go and do this. Just kind of how you wanted it. And I'll show you, and then there's a method to my madness on how I kind of played around with this and how to decided I wanted to do this. So I'm just going to lightly go around in the middle, not much, because I really want that to stay light. But on the edges, I'm going to have that as a little darker. And you see, I'm not keeping going back on all the time. I can still continue to use the ink that's on the brush. So you can just do it. And then what I can do, now see how I have my little Post-it note here? So what I can do on this tape, because we don't care about that top, is I can lift this, and I'm not going to lose my placement to see what it looked like. And see what that looks like, and see how I have that little lightness in here. Now I decided I want a little bit more on this edge here as I look at it. But again, I didn't get any more ink. I'm just continuing to use what ink is on the brush. And I'm going to take a look at that. And I got one more spot that I think I'm going to do over here just to make it a little bit darker. And take just a tiny bit. All right. All right, so kind of gives you an idea of what I've done there. So we can go ahead now. I think I'm good with that. I could take my mask off. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that.
Woo! Everybody in North Carolina can take their mask off.
No, not that mask. The other mask.
Well, I didn't know there was any other kind of mask
Well,
after
we got,
pandemic.
I have been just going to town here. So there's Sandy and there's Marty and Patsy. I can't see everybody else, but I'm going to leave that up to Elaine.
I said hello to everybody because we got Kevin and Faye. We just got the whole group.
I'm not trying to ignore people, but I kind of get involved. You know how it is when you start creating cards. You kind of get into your own little world. That's what I love about paper crafting. Kind of get my own world.
On you. We went Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. Are we surprised?
Yeah, but
No.
I really did create other cards with different colors. So in my defense,
Gonna have to check out your blog to see those.
yeah,
Right?
that's right. You have to go to cindyscardsandmore.com to see all the other ones. And I'll have that posted this week. I'm a little behind on my blogging since I just got started, but I'm going to get that all done this week. So now, what I decided on this is that I wanted a little bit of these words on this. So I put my bass back up here. So I've got that on there. And what I want is, because I don't want my edges. I don't want my words to go on the edges. I just want to keep it in the highlight of what I just did with the coloring. So I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to just see what that color looks like. And I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I want to stamp it here. Oh, that looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it down here.
I'm not sure.
All right. Now, what I've decided to do then also, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go ahead and clean it because you know how that goes. If you don't clean as you go, then all of a sudden you're stamping something and it's like, wait a minute. And I love our chamois. I got my chamois over here, so I'm going to town and getting that all nice and clean. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my little dots on here. Now on my dots, I decided when I was playing around with it, and this is why a lot of times I stamp on my little white sheet of paper here, is I didn't want my dots to overshadow my design, but I want it to be a little bit like of a splatter. So I decided I wanted the second generation of this, so I'm not going to do it full. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to put some dots on here. So see what I'm saying? If it was full in this color here, it really was too dark for what I wanted because I didn't want it to overpower my design. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. Let's stamp over here. And I think I'll stamp one more time. And stamp there. There we go. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of leaving this something in the middle, but there's a purpose for that. I'm not going to put dots everywhere, my little splatter. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Now I'm going to go ahead and I can take my mask off. Not the mask that Elaine's talking about. My little paper mask here. And see how easy when you use that little Post-it note, how easy that came off. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this beautiful flower here. It's really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink that up. And you know me, I always do a test to see what it looked like. Make sure I got enough ink on the whole thing. Now I can tell you on these stamps, you don't really have to press really hard, because if you do, sometimes you'll get the edging. I don't know if you can see that there's a little bit of ink here on the edging. So you really don't see, when I did this little test here, you can actually see it. So you really just want to stay in the middle, hold it down for a second, but you don't have to like press it really hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that design over here. And I'm going to put it right here on the edge. And I'm just going to hold that down for a second. Lift it up and voila, there it is. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. I just think that is so pretty. Love this stamp set. So what I decided is that I wanted, instead of putting this sentiment in the inside of my card, I actually wanted it to be a feature. That's why I kept this highlight here in the middle. I wanted that to be the feature on my card, and I wanted that to be in the Gorgeous Grape also. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, one thing I will say about some of our stamps is sometimes, even though you see it one way, sometimes I always want to make sure that I'm lining it up, and I want to make sure that's exactly how it's stamping. Now, I did that where I thought it was straight up and down, but it's actually to the right a little bit. So I'm going to do that one more time. And then if I go a little bit more left, so sometimes you just kind of have to play around to see where you're going to get that, to make sure that you're even. So I'm going to do this, and I've decided that I'm going to put it right here. Hold that down. There we go. There you go. So now look at that. Now that you've got nice, pretty card with a sentiment in the middle. So that's pretty much the stamping that we want here. Now we have, okay, all right, Elaine, did I leave my other piece of cardstock over there? It must have fell out. No, I need white, my basic. So if I don't have it, I can do another one.
I got a basic white over there in the corner.
You got some in her stash here?
Yeah.
All right, well, got a lot of...
So the first set is just second layers.
I know. Hold on for a second. I'm not used to her desk, so... Nope, they are all card bases.
Here, is that what you want?
No, I need basic white.
Then it's in the other side.
Yeah, the other side. There we go. There we go. All right, now we got that. You know how it is. You think you're all prepared and something falls out on your way over from one desk to the other. Now on this, I decided that I'm going to leave this so you don't have... I can put a thinking of you on the inside because there is a thinking of you. So maybe we'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and clean this off and put this away. And I'm going to go ahead and get the thinking of you. And go ahead and put that on my block here. So what I have decided is this has got this great little flower here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on one of my blocks. Put that down. And I am going to, let's see, I think I want to use Highland Heather with that and not Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. Whoop. All right, it's got enough ink on it now. I'm going to put that right here, put my flower. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my wording again because I really like this stamp set. I like this stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and open up, I'm going to use my Gorgeous Grape on that. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that because I want that to be darker. And I'm just going to do that right through my flower at the bottom. Just kind of gives it a little something different to look at. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my Thinking of You. And I'm going to do that in Gorgeous Grape. Now you could add another color to that. You could actually even use more of a grayish color like basic gray. You could use any of those colors. I think would be pretty if you don't want to use all the purples. But I'm going to be a purple people eater today and use everything that's purple. Ha! All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and find my snail. Let's see. Where is that now? All right, Elaine, where'd you hide your snail?
Oh, it's right there beside you.
Well, there's nothing beside me. She really cleaned off her desk today. Yep, she really cleaned it off. All right. Well, there's where it's going to go. There we go. Use glue on all. Something.
I stole it from Mary Ellen.
I don't think spit would have worked today, so we'll have to do a little bit of glue. Hey, anything works, right? And I like that. I like glue anyway because you can kind of move it around a little bit where you need it. Now, I did this layering. I did the Gorgeous Grape on top of the Highland Heather, and then I'm going to do my other layer on top of the Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I'll go ahead and put these two pieces together so I don't get that on there. Move all my pieces here. I get a little wild sometimes. And remember, you don't need a lot of glue when you're putting this down. Just enough to make sure it sticks.
I stole your glue.
Yeah, we stole Mary Ellen's glue. We're glue challenged today. What can I say? All right, we're going to put our next layer down. And I'm going to fix it because my one layer just moved on me. There we go. Kind of willy wonkered on me. I can move that because it still that's what's nice about this is it's not done until it dries. So you have a little bit of wiggle room if you need it. That's what I like about this. All right, get that done. All right. Now I decided, you know me, you're talking about Cindy here. Got to have a little bling. Can't have it one-dimensional. Now you could put pearls here. That would be very pretty too because that's kind of a softer look. But you know me, I want a little bling. So I'm just going to use some of our rhinestones, and you could actually color them if you want, but I decided I'm just going to leave them with a little bit of a bling on them. I'll put those on my flowers because I think that really makes my flowers pop. And I'm going to use my pick tool because I have fat fingers. Up, and my pick tool, come on. Okay. It's Monday. You know I've always got to have something that's entertainment for you.
Monday.
So we got little hop-alongs here. Hop-along rhinestones. What can I say? So I decided I'm going to take this one back up. It's too big for that smaller flower, and I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these smaller ones here. Let's see if I can flick that one out too. What can I? There we go.
Sandy's laughing so hard she's crying.
Okay. What can I say? You know, I like to have fun when I craft. So you know, that's just the way it is. But look, minimal ink on my fingers today. Isn't that amazing? And I kept it in the frame too, so I'm doing good. Oh, come on, Mary Ellen, you come over here. You got to see Mary Ellen's hands. You know, look at mine.
Yeah.
Look how pretty they are. And now come on and stick your hand under that camera and let them look at that. Look at those lovely fingers. She's been slaving away making cards over here. Thank you, Mary Ellen. See, it's not me today. What can I say? So there is your quick and easy card. I think that is absolutely a beautiful card. And the reason why I kept that white in there, because I thought it would really highlight the sentiment. Heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. And then I put the thinking of you on the inside. So I think this makes a great quick and easy card. Even with the masking, it didn't take any long at all. And these brushes are the bomb. I absolutely love them. They are so easy to work with. They blend the color just perfect. Not any better tool out there than doing that. So it almost encourages me to do more of this kind of coloring on my cards. So that is it for today. Now remember, if you want to see more of the cards that I made, then you can go to my blog at Cindy's Cards and More, and I will send that out to you this week with my new updated blog on this particular card that I did. So don't forget, Wednesday, Elaine's going to be doing our scrapbook page layout. Can't wait to see what she's coming up with. I have no idea even what stamp set she's going to use, so it's all going to be a surprise. But you know her, she's so creative, we just never know what she's got up her sleeve. Anything else, Elaine, that we need to do? Nope.
Remind them last day for the product share.
Last day for the product share is?
Friday.
Friday. Okay, last day for that. So be sure if you want your product share, then go ahead and sign up. So until Wednesday, we'll see you then. Bye now.